Rights if you win, so.
It wasn't like horribly hard, like it was hard.
What kind of that?
James said it was hard. James said it.
Oh yeah, that's
I think
Alright.
on you. Yep.
Hi, everybody. Today, the plan is Chapter 12 homework quiz. Build your half sheet for Chapter 12. Chapter 12 test next class.
Okay.
Wait, do you think we'll have enough time to make it?
I don't know how long it should take you to make one of these things. There's like one idea on there,
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
you know? I don't know what to say. All right.
You're right. I'm just used to like.
Yeah, I understand. I'm just like,
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
there's not much in this chapter.
So is
All right.
really, like,
Before we start, let's do another calculator example. Okay. Remember, most of everything on chapter 12 is going to be done using your calculator. So you just have to understand what you need to do on the calculator, and the calculator will handle most of the heavy lifting for you, right? So if you have a graphing calculator and you'd like to follow along, I encourage you to take that out. If you don't have a graphing calculator with you, you sure as heck need one for the test, because you're not doing this stuff by hand. All right. So I'm just looking at this example here on the board. Yes, Krista? Sure. Here's all mine have been borrowed. You deadbeats need to find your calculators. All right. So we're given this data. What does it say this is about? This is the number of patents with respect to time, like a date. So the question asks us to find a quadratic regression for this. So it's told me the type of regression equation to write. So do I need to look at the scatter plot?
no.
No. So I'm going to skip that step. I'm going to start by just entering this data into my calculator. What button do I press to begin?
Edit. Oh wait, yes.
Stat, which is right here next to the left arrow. From the Edit tab, I'm going to select the Edit command. I'm going intentionally slow. It's below the down arrow.
Enter.
It says STAT on the button.
It's the
Like
sixth
underneath the
one.
down
The
arrow.
sixth one, like this. Down. Stat.
Oh.
Come on, guys. Let's lock in.
Come on, this is our homework, man.
Guys, we got a test, man.
I'm going to enter the data into L1 and L2.
What data? Oh, right there.
So before I start doing this, what things should I think about?
The L1 is the cause.
I should think about which one is the independent, which one is the dependent variable. So the cause and the effect. So we have the year and the number of patents issued. Seems like the number of patents should depend on the year, right? Everybody feel almost certainly time will always be your independent variable. I would be floored to find a situation where it would not want to represent your independent variable. Okay, so I'm just going to pause here while you guys are entering the data into your calculator. If you're following along, like nothing's, you're going to get all cuckoo different answers, or it's not going to work at all if you don't have the numbers typed in. So I'm just kind of standing here because I see people still pushing buttons, which is fine.
Wait, will it always be like? But will it always be like? So you see how it's like 980, 990, like it's always like going up. Will it ever sometimes go down? Sometimes like will you give us a graph like there or no?
It would not have to be sorted in any kind of reason, you know. Like it doesn't, the points don't need to be ordered in the X from smallest to largest. Particularly like, you know, maybe we're measuring like heights and weights of students, and I just went down the rows, like your heights and weights aren't gonna be sorted if I just collect it randomly, right? So I wouldn't count on that. Now if it's time-wise, probably, you know, if it's associated with a date, I don't know why it would not be sorted, smallest to largest, but. Is anyone still typing numbers? Okay. I'll wait another minute or two. Let you guys finish up typing in your numbers. I'll have a drink of delicious Coca-Cola.
They sponsor you.
Yeah, I collect lucrative sponsorships for endorsing products in my classroom. I have an NIL deal.
Ooh, I see.
All right, are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. My next step, now that I've entered my data, is I'm going to build my regression equation. To do this, I need to go back to the main screen. So I'm going to press the second button and then the mode button to exit back to the main screen. Now the command that I'm looking for next is called quad reg. Where do my regression equations live? What button do I press to find those? Stat is the correct answer, so I'll press the stat button once again. And this time I'm going to move over to the calc tab. And the command I'm looking for is quad reg. How did I know that I wanted quad reg?
Because
It says quadratic regression in the question. It told me which one to use. So make sure you're reading the question.
Go down to 5.
Now,
Wait, calculate.
when I select quad reg, this menu will open up. I want to double check and make sure that my independent variable I've typed into L1. I did. My dependent variable I typed into L2. I did that. If for whatever reason, maybe I typed one of them into L3 or L4, L5, or L6, notice in blue above the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is L1, L2, all the way to L6. So if I needed to make one of those L3, I can just press second and the number 3. I don't, so I'm not going to, but if I did, that's how you do it. So my X list and Y list are good. The frequency list for what we are going to be doing will always be blank. I am going to choose to store my regression equation. The calculator will build the regression equation whether I store it or not. But if I have any other questions that are going to ask me to do something, with the formula, it's helpful to have the formula stored in your calculator because it makes it easier to use, so you don't have to like type in a million numbers into your calculator to do a computation with it. So I'm going to choose to do that. The locations where you can store an equation are into the slots in your grapher, so like y1, y2, y3, etc. I'm going to choose to store mine into y1. It doesn't matter which y you use. Where do the y variables live?
Vars.
So good. So I'm going to press the vars button, which is here below the down arrow. And since I'm looking for y1, I want the y variables tab. My calculator's mode is in function. And there's the y1. Now that I have that there, I'm going to go ahead and press calculate. And this is my output. What would I write as my answer for the regression equation? I would write y equals 0.44906568884
Do we have to do the whole thing or?
x squared plus negative 1777.365966 x plus 1758782.146. If the directions don't tell you how to round, you should get the whole thing. The directions tell you to round to a certain decimal place, round to that decimal place. NFL.
Mine didn't pop up with the audio two at the top.
Great. So why?
If you need it.
Yep. Okay. I know. Same thing, right? No. What is yours?
When I press function, it just goes to that.
I don't think. Yeah. That is the list. Here's Y1. You're not in the. That's a good spot, right? It's that. No. Quadrant. Where it says score ready, that's where it's the quadrant. And it says in that dimension, we actually type the data points incorrectly. More x's than y's or y's than x's. So you go back to your type in and double check. I will get to it. Okay, I will get to it. That's okay. All right, so I got an r squared value. What does the r squared tell me? It's a numeric measurement of how good of a fit my equation is to my data. The closer that r squared value is to 1, the better my fit. Pretty good, right? Hard to beat. If you didn't get an r squared value to come up, the statistic diagnostic is not turned on your calculator. So there's 2 ways you can do it. I think that if you have a very new calculator, if you press the mode button, there's an option in your menu for stat diagnostics. You just need to make sure that's turned on. Those of you that didn't have an r squared value pop, do you have this in your menu? So just press the mode button and found the stat diagnostics option highlighted on with the enter button.
I got you, little bro. Come here, little bro. I got you, bro. Come here.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, little bro. I got you.
Madison, Annabelle, did you find it?
So I tried that. Or yeah, I found that, but it's still
Right.
Huh?
it's still not working.
Okay, you got the stat diagnostic on. The dimension problem is that you have different numbers of data points. Or you don't have everything typed into L1 and L2, right? So.
So when we get the calculations of the B and C and the R, can we just like add them together?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Can we just add?
We don't add any of them. So, how do we write our answer for the quadratic regression? This is the formula that you're writing.
Okay, that's
In the place of A, you write the number for A,
okay.
and then x squared. In the place for B, you put the number for B, and then the x. It just tells you what to fill into the formula. Is the r squared part of the formula? No. The r squared is different. It's telling you it's a measurement of how good of a fit your data is, or your model is to your data. Julius.
On the homework quiz,
Probably a lot of decimals, because I got to make sure that you knew what to do. Okay? Is everybody okay? All right. Now let's say I wanted you to predict how many patents were issued in the year 1996. Yes, Kendall.
You do y equals the a decimal, and then plug in your x squared plus your B decimal, then the same X plus the C decimal.
Good, so you can do it that way manually, or if you stored your regression equation, the calculator can plug the number into the X's for you. You don't have to type any of the decimals back out again. That's the way I like to do it, but what you described is fine. All you're doing is taking 1996 and plugging it into X with the numbers for A, B, and C and pressing enter. You can do it manually that way. It's a lot more typing, but like, that's all we're talking about. To do it without typing all that stuff, I stored my regression equation into y1. So I'm going to use y1 like a function notation, and I'm going to call of y1 of 1996. So to get the y1, where do I go? Bars. Then where? Y bars. And then function. And then y1. And I'm going to use like a function notation, so I'm going to do parenthesis 1996 present. So in 1996, how many patents would have we issued, or we predict we issued how many?
45 is the finish.
Yeah. They did up top, so.
Did they?
Yeah.
But look at the unit,
Oh,
the
in
number of
thousands.
patents in thousands.
Oh.
So it's really like 244,565.
Okay.
Nope,
Nope.
because
Why 90?
that's where the decimal point is, so you want to round to the nearest patent. Does that make sense? Notice this would be the same result if you did like 0.044 yada 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 times 1996 squared plus negative 1.77 blah 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 times 1996 plus blah 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 blah, and you typed it in manually and pressed enter. You'll get basically the same number. The only reason it might be different is from rounding.
On the test, would you want us to type in like 244 point decimals, or would you want us to type 244,000?
It depends on what the question asks for, right? If it asks for the number of patents in thousands, then 244.5 or 0.6 would be appropriate. If it asks for the total number of patents, then you'd want to write it 244,565. So it just kind of depends on the direction, what it asks for. Frankie?
So why are we solving for Y1 because it's independent?
So I asked you to predict how many patents were issued in 1996. So you're plugging 1996 in for X into the model that we typed into Y1. So that's what that notation is saying. Yes.
So the example says to use the quadratic regression.
Yes.
Our other option is linear, correct? Is there
There,
other options?
oh yeah. If you look at the regressions list, there's like 8 of them or something.
How many will we be using?
Whatever it says to use. That doesn't really make much of a difference in terms of the process.
Scatter plot-wise,
Oh, I think I drew 5 examples of scatter plots. Linear, cubic, quadratic, power, and
cubic is,
2 beds.
okay, 2 ends.
And then
Quadratic is the.
exponential.
Exponential is that one.
Exponential is flat, and then like half and kind of like half.
Linear is just a line, quadratic is.
Right.
Because he's just asking.
And you.
Okay, okay.
No. Okay. Is everybody okay? I'm gonna ask now an important question. Do you think this prediction is reliable?
Yes.
Relatively?
Why?
Because it's interpolation.
Okay? So you need to supply 2 reasons for the why. One of them is interpolation, which means that the x value that we're plugging in is inside the range of x values we built our model with. 1996 is between the smallest and lowest x values. right? Between 1980 and
And then
2003.
could you say that the R value is 0.9, it was like 0.9 something?
The second thing you'd need to say is that the model is a good fit to the data. I know that because the R squared value is very close to 1. That is your answer, right? You need the two things, interpolation, good fit. If you have both of those, reliable prediction. If you're missing either one or both, unreliable.
Okay.
Still might be a good prediction, but it's not reliable. Could have gotten lucky, right? Or it could be that your model has some good predictive value, but it's not reliable long term.
What is the point where you don't put the R squared value close to it? Like, where's that?
Oh, where would the cutoff be? Probably like 0.7-ish, right? It'll be, I'll have it be clear. Like there would be very little doubt. The scale is 0 to 1. I'll make sure it's super clear that it's a good fit or not. Right.
I'm getting the wrong numbers, but I just think this is my data that everything else, right?
Yeah, if you entered the wrong data, everything else is gonna
I
be
think
wrong.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Final questions on what we just did. Okay. What button is your primary source for most of this stuff? Stat, and the secondary button was?
Bars.
Everything lived under one of those two, right?
VAR.
Is short for variables. Okay.
Wait, what is it?
What time is it?
Virtual assistant.